I love making my sourdough bread. I make it every week, sometimes multiple times a week, but that is pretty much the only sourdough product I have in my repertoire regularly. I have done sourdough burger buns. I've added it a little bit at least to some sweet baking projects as well, but nothing on a regular basis. And this year, I want to change that. I want to learn how to incorporate more sourdough into our diet. So in this video, I'm sharing 3 things I've tried with sourdough, starting with some sourdough tortillas. I got this recipe from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. That is a YouTube channel and also a blog. Some of you might be familiar with it. I will also link the recipe down below. And I really liked this one. There is one thing that I did not enjoy so much about it, and that was the olive oil that was added to the dough, which I'm making here the night before. And I could really taste the olive oil in the finished product, and I'm just not a fan of that particular taste. So this might be just a very personal preference. So I think next time when I'm making this, I will switch this for like a neutral oil. I'm usually using rapeseed oil. I believe peanut butter oil and canola oil are also some more frequent or frequently used oils that have a neutral taste and aroma to them. So I've combined all of the ingredients in a bowl, worked it with my hands a little bit, and then I've let it sit on the counter overnight. The next morning, I got the dough out. It had a little bit of a crust on it, but I don't think that really was an issue. And I separated it into 4 pieces. At first, I thought that they were really small. Like I thought that they would be larger, but I think I haven't rolled them out enough. Like I thought that they were super thin, but I think they could have been even thinner and therefore bigger. I heated my pan with some of that rapeseed oil. Now, when it comes to the making of the tortillas, not so much the dough, but this part, the rolling out and then especially frying them in the pan, I think I still have some parts to learn, and that's okay. I did watch some videos after making these because the problem was that they were, I think, quite thick, and I think I also over fried them, so they were not flexible at all. Like they were very crisp and they just cracked once I flapped them around. But like I said, I have watched some videos, so I do have some advice and tips that I think I'm going to try next time. Now, if you feel like it, definitely leave me a comment if you are more familiar with tortillas and let me know what you think I've done. Well, maybe not necessarily wrong. I mean, we did enjoy them in the end, but you know, what could have been done better? And my focus here was really on the dough, like the tortilla itself. So as for the filling, I did something that maybe a lot of you will find strange or not appetizing at all, but I took a very extremely lazy approach and I did some ham and some shredded cheese. That was it, nothing else. I think we had a salad to go with this as well, but I did just that. I actually made the tortillas a little bit earlier, so by the time I was putting the filling into them, they were already a little bit cold. So I've put them in the microwave as well. And that just melted the cheese and they were quite tasty. Like I said, the olive oil in there was a little bit off-putting for me, but I think that that's just an easy change for next time. So I would say I was pretty satisfied with this recipe, this experiment. Now for the next one, I wanted to do sourdough pancakes. Now I do pancakes quite often, I would say, or at least like once a month, which I think is often. I definitely didn't used to make them that often before. But I've never tried to make sourdough once. Now, a lot of the recipes that you will see online, they will instruct you to add the sourdough, like just to mix the dough, you know, the morning of when you're making the pancakes. But from my understanding, in order to get any health benefits from the sourdough, it needs time to work together with the flour and water that you're putting into the batter. And so what I did is I took the long fermentation approach and I made the batter the night before. I will try to find the recipe I was using, but I've just looked at so many that I am not sure if I can remember, but it was just a very, I think, simple pancake recipe just with the dough in it. Now, the recipe, as far as I recall, said to add honey to this as well when you're mixing the starter, the flour, and the water, which I didn't do. I thought that I would just add that in the morning. Now, as for the final result of these, you will see me the next day in the morning as well, that the dough has this very goo, or the batter has this gooey texture, and that definitely translated to the pancakes as well. It wasn't necessarily bad, it was just something that I am not used to feeling when it comes to pancakes. I also think that they were definitely tasting a little bit differently. Like, you could taste a little bit of the sourness of the sourdough in these, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like it was over fermented or anything like that. I thought that maybe this would be different if I did add the honey the night before when I was mixing the batter. Oh, and one more point I also wanted to mention: for the very first pancake that I was making, I didn't add the baking powder and the baking soda that the recipe called for. So you're supposed to add the baking powder and baking soda in the morning when you're getting ready to make the pancakes, because otherwise it wouldn't fluff them up like if you already added it the night before. But I was thinking that since the sourdough starter is the leavening agent, I guess that's what it's called, maybe this could work even without adding the baking powder and the soda. So I tried that first pancake without it. Now, it wasn't super fluffy, so I did add it afterwards, and then those pancakes were definitely a little bit fluffier than that first one. So again, I'm gonna try to keep this in the rotation. I will try to modify it slightly, see if I add the sugar or honey the night before, we would appreciate the taste more, but overall, a good result. And we had the pancakes with some unfrozen blueberries from our country house. I also bought some raspberries at the shop, and we had a little bit of Greek yogurt to go with them. And for the very last experiment, this was definitely a fail, but I don't think it was a fail of the recipe. I think the failure was on my part. So what I was making here, or trying to make, was a sandwich sourdough bread, of course. And I was using the recipe from Sarah Therese. Again, she has a YouTube channel and also a blog. I will be linking both down below. And I don't think the recipe is bad, and I will explain as we go along where I think I've made some mistakes. Like with the tortillas, I was mixing the dough the night before. And if you've watched a lot of my previous videos, then you probably already know I don't have a stand mixer or a bread machine or anything like this. So I was mixing this dough by hand. Now the recipe, so Sarah Therese does have a bread machine, and that's what she was using for her bread. Now, of course, you don't need a bread machine or even the stand mixer to make bread of any kind. It's not like bread was invented together with the invention of the stand mixer. But again, I just didn't have enough experience with this kind of a dough to be able to work with it properly by hand. So I think my first mistake, and again, let me know in the comments if you would agree with my assessments. So my first mistake was that I kept adding way too much flour because I felt like the dough was way too sticky. Now, after watching quite a few actually videos on kneading dough by hand and these wetter, like stickier doughs, I realize now that that was definitely a mistake and that I should have worked with that sticky dough, and I now have the ideas and tips for like how to make it work. So that was mistake number one. And then mistake number two was my kneading technique. So I have never really learned how to knead bread. It's not something I've ever seen done before. So I did just kind of what felt like, this is what kneading should look like. But again, as I've learned, there are different ways that you can knead the dough based on its texture, how sticky or not sticky it is essentially. So anyways, I got to a point where it felt like I was done with the kneading and it looked relatively good. So I put it back into the bowl and I let it sit on the counter overnight. And that was my mistake number three. The dough completely over fermented. And it's not super obvious in the morning when I look at it. Like, yes, it has risen a lot and there is a crust on it, but it was super obvious once we got to taste it because it was really sour, and we ended up only eating a few slices of this and the rest just went to the trash. Now that's a bit of a spoiler alert for the end of this recipe, but that's like, I'm not 100% sure that that was the reason, but 98% sure that that's what happened and that's what caused the not pleasant taste. And also it just didn't rise much in the form, and especially in the oven later when I got to bake it. So I am pretty sure that it was the over fermentation. And again, I'm not blaming this on the recipe creator, because if there is anything I've learned about sourdough, it's that it's a living organism and you can never ever create like a perfect recipe that's going to work for everyone, because everyone has different circumstances and especially different temperatures in their house. And I know that Sarah was mentioning this in her recipe, that she lives in a colder climate, so it's usually a little bit cooler than maybe is normal for other kitchens, whereas mine is, I would say, pretty warm. So that probably is the reason why it went so over with the fermentation. And I think maybe it was the timing as well, right? Maybe the temperature was more or less the same, but I just fermented it for a longer time than I should have. So those were the three big mistakes, and you can kind of see what I'm doing later here as well. So even though I was, of course, upset that it didn't work out the first time, after kind of reflecting on, what happened and what I could have done differently, looking at those videos for the kneading and the working with the sticky dough, I feel like I have an idea what I might try next time. So I'm actually quite excited to try this again with some of the tips from, that I've gathered elsewhere and see what I can come up with. So those were my sourdough experiments. Let me know down below if you've tried any of these before, or if you have any other sourdough foods that you just love. I would love to try even more things. And like I said in the beginning, I would just love to incorporate more of this into our daily, weekly routines. But for now, that is it for this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.